Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we are doing the crossword for Saturday, March 15th, 2025. So, on this, the Ides of March.
Happy Ides of March.
Did you do the crossword?
I did.
And did you have any seers come up to you and warn you about the dangers of today?
No.
Oh, that's good. Okay. So,
how about yourself?
No, I ran into no Sears whatsoever.
Very good.
No Sears, no Kmart, no Walmart.
Sears, that is a good crossword word.
Yes.
We see seer a lot.
We see Sear a lot?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when I'm writing people, I will send other people a copy and I see Sear them.
Uh-huh.
All right, that's enough bad punditry. What did you think about today's crossword?
Well, I got it done.
Good.
I didn't think I was going to, but I persevered.
Good.
Started it last night, finished it this morning.
I see.
And it just clicked.
Oh.
And yeah, it was a good puzzle. It was a good challenge. It was a good Saturday challenge. I didn't think it was too hard, but thankfully there were some pop culture things in there that I knew, so that kind of helped. So,
can you give me an example?
Well, like the first one across, British celebrity chef Nagila. I knew that her last name was Lawson.
Lawson. Boy, I could have used that. I got most of it, but I didn't know what to do about that first letter because one down. Member of the only NFC team never to have made the Super Bowl. It's like, great. I probably don't know them because they're not famous. And it turns out to be Lion.
Yes, I knew that one too.
Really?
Yeah, they came very close this year. Very, very close.
We're talking about the Detroit Lions, right?
The Detroit Lions,
okay.
Yes. They have never won a Super Bowl. They've never been in a Super Bowl.
You know,
now they are a pretty good team. So.
Oh, well, good. Well, here's hoping for next year.
Yep.
When it came to Lawson, so at one point I had Dawson, because that sounded like a good name for a person.
For a British chef.
Nigella Dawson. and so I had Dion for the NFC team. And I was trying to think, who are the Dions? And then eventually I realized it was Lions.
Yes. So yeah, having those two in that corner made it much easier to fill that one in.
So you probably had not as much trouble as I did with 15 across. They're sometimes seen in cameos, onyxes.
Right.
Onyxes. Even after I had it solved, I was like, what? And then I realized it was onyxes, but boy, that's a word I don't see very often.
No, but I mean, I had the O and then 4 down, awkward messages to receive in a public setting. I figured, well, that's got to be, I had the S, so that's got to be sexed.
Right.
So I had the X, so I thought, well, it must be onyxes. So, well, and onyx, the onyx is a stone you do see in cameos. You don't see cameos very often anymore, but yeah, onyx is often used in the background.
See, because I see cameos quite a lot because I watch a lot of shows.
Well, this is a different kind of cameo.
I eventually realized that, but at the time it was not clear to me.
Oh.
And so
so you were looking for like Walk On or...
well, I started off with celebs.
Oh.
And I thought, well, that works quite well until it didn't. But it seemed promising at the time. 16 across, big name and electric toothbrushes.
Sonic Care.
And I couldn't, I thought Oral-B, that was the only thing that came to mind. And then I thought, wait, Philips makes toothbrushes, but it didn't fit. And then eventually I got Sonic Care. And I was brushing my teeth last night after having done the crossword. Let me make that perfectly clear. And because that's how I often celebrate doing the crossword, by brushing my teeth.
No
And
kidding.
I discovered I was using a Sonic Care toothbrush.
Yes,
that's
you
very.
have one. So that surprised me. You didn't get that one right away.
Well, I don't stare at my toothbrush a lot when I'm using it, and the font with which Sonic Care is written isn't that big. I mean, it is a toothbrush; they don't have a whole lot of room for it. So, but yes, that was surprising. And that S of Sonic Care ran into 16 down. 2007 Michael Moore documentary with the tagline, "This might hurt a little." Sicko.
Sicko. Yes, I was like, oh, I know what that is. I know because I saw that documentary, but I couldn't think what it was called. And yeah, it was called Sicko. I had the S because I got Sonic Care, because I too have a Sonic Care toothbrush.
And you know it.
Uh-huh.
No, I got it because of 21 Across, like unspoken understandings, tacit.
That's right.
So I had the C in the middle of it, and that's what I needed.
Yep.
So, and that somehow led me to getting through Sonic Care. But 14 down, Code Group was zoning board.
Yes.
I found that
took me forever.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do with that. I was thinking, at first I was thinking it had something to do with like the comic book board that would say that, you know, comics were sort of approved by some group. And then I started thinking about Code Group as in writing software, and I was all over the place with that. But
that's what I thought. I thought, oh, is that something related to computers? But nope, turned out to be related to cities.
Yes,
Zoning board.
And that was a debut.
Oh, really? Well, very good.
Another debut was 11 down. That was Javier, who played Desi Arnaz in Being the Ricardos. Javier Bardem.
Bardem, yes.
Did you know Javier Bardem?
I did.
Really?
Yes.
Well, no wonder
he's a pretty famous actor.
No wonder you got through this crossword.
Yeah.
You knew everything.
I know. I really, there were a lot of pop culture things. I'm like, oh, I know that. Oh, I know that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I knew nothing in that area. Like, I mean, 14 across. Congolese neighbor to the south, Zambian.
Oh.
I really need to learn all the countries of Africa. It's the least I could do.
That's a challenge.
Yeah, but there are rather a lot of them.
I need to learn all the countries in Europe because they've changed since I studied geography.
Yes. We had 10 down, bum rap. And I went for bikini, but it turned out to be diaper.
Right.
Which I guess made more sense. And 12 down, double dealing was sneaky.
Right.
That wasn't too sneaky. How'd you do with 24 across? Drink akin to a Moscow mule.
I didn't know.
Dark and stormy.
Well, yeah, and I got quite a few of the crosses, and I thought, oh, kind of looks like dark and stormy. So, and it was, but I've never heard of that drink, and I have no idea. Well, I've heard of a Moscow Mule, but I don't really know what that drink is either. So. Well,
just to let you know, it has appeared twice in the New York Times, today and in 2020.
Wow.
Where it was a Thursday and it was clued as cocktail made with ginger beer.
Ginger beer.
So now you know.
Now I know.
I liked 23 down. That was great. Prez in the 60s. And it was 3 letters. I'm like, okay, let's see. There was JFK. There was LBJ.
Right.
There was RMN.
No, he wasn't in the 60s.
Nixon?
Well, maybe he went in 68.
Yeah, of course he was in the 60s. Right? When they landed on the moon.
Oh, that's right. He was the president.
It would have been bad if he wasn't the president and he called them.
Yeah, that's right.
So there were at least 3 of them, but it turned out they weren't thinking about the 1960s. No. They were thinking about the 1860s. And it was Abe. That was nice. That was very, very clever.
Yeah, that took me a while.
28 across was eco-conscious with tech waste in modern parlance. E-cycled.
E-cycled, yes.
That's cute. 27 down. Miniature electronic vehicle for short was RC car.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And that was in the middle of another clue. I bet you knew this one. 26 across. Irish actor who was nominated for a Golden Globe for 2023's Saltburn, sorry. Barry Keoghan. Did you know that?
I did not know that, but as I got more letters, I thought, I bet it's Barry Keoghan. And it was.
So you did know that.
So I knew it.
You knew the name.
I didn't know it right off the bat. I didn't know he starred in that movie, but I do know that actor. I have seen that actor, yes.
Wow.
And I believe he's going to be in the biopic about the Beatles, and I think he's going to play Ringo.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, he's sort of an up and coming actor in Hollywood now.
Well, that is just astounding. The number of pop culture references you knew and the number of pop culture references I knew, which was 0.
Yeah, there were a lot of them in here with this puzzle. So yeah, they helped me a lot.
They didn't help me one bit.
Even in that area as well, 29 Across was another one. Best Picture winner that beat out Boyhood and Selma. It turned out to be Birdman.
Yeah.
I didn't know that right off the top of my head, but I got the B and the M, and I'm like, oh yeah, Birdman. I remember that movie.
Well, at least I could recognize that as a name. There's no way that I could recognize BARRYKEOGHAN. I had a theory about Barry, but I certainly didn't know about Keoghan. Partially because 21 Down captures the moment. Say it was takes a photo. Actually, I think I got that one right off because no pop culture was required. I like 33 Across. It's a good vacation destination. You bet. Casino resort.
Yes. I was trying to figure out like Las Vegas Strip, but it did not fit.
18 Down, something legally defined in the U.S. as affecting fewer than 200,000 people, rare disease.
Yes.
That's very interesting. So, like, I presume you get, like, less funding and so forth if you're a rare disease. So I wonder if people who have that rare disease try and transmit it to a few more people. So it's just like, come on, we just got to get to 200,000 and then we'll be good.
I don't think that.
I bet that happens.
No,
it sounds like a really bad movie on Netflix.
Well, I think though, maybe it gets more attention because they want to keep it a rare disease. They don't want it to spread. So.
I don't know. I think they're going to want to treat the diseases that more people have before they start throwing resources at a disease that fewer people have, right? I mean,
well, maybe. I don't know.
If there are any researchers at the National Institute of Health, please drop us a line, crosswordpodcast@icloud.com.
Yes, which gets the most attention, rare diseases
or common diseases?
Common disease. I suppose it would depend on the severity of the disease.
That's true.
At one time, COVID was a rare disease, but thankfully they got on that right away. So when it became a common disease, they were able to abate it eventually.
Yeah, I mean the common cold. I doubt they're doing a lot of research about the common cold.
No, because that's not one that typically kills people.
See,
the flu. I mean, the flu. That's not or that is common, but thankfully they're always doing research on the flu.
And I'd like to give you an example of a rare disease, but I've never heard of it because it's a rare disease. I'm presuming it's probably a BARRYKEOGHAN. It looks like you have a rare case of BARRYKEOGHAN.
I don't think so.
You have an urge to get into acting and speak with a British accent. Scottish? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. 24 Down, 2016 literature Nobelist who famously skipped the Stockholm ceremony, Dylan.
Yep, I knew that.
He won that in literature?
Yeah, Bob Dylan. He won the Nobel.
I bet next year, like Timothy Chalamet tries to go. It's like, sorry, I'm late.
Yeah.
I realize I'm what 10 years late, but here I am.
If you win it once, do they invite you every year after that?
Until you pick it up. Attention, Mr. B. Dylan, your award is waiting for you.
Yeah.
Wonder why I didn't want to go.
I don't know.
I bet now he wants to go.
Maybe thought you had to dress up or something.
Give
a speech. Maybe he didn't want to give a speech.
He probably figured they were just trying to get a personal concert, and this is their way. It says, give him an award, then we'll be able to hear him just for ourselves. 48 Across, where snowboard cross debuted as an Olympic event, 2006, Torino. Where's Torino?
Italy.
How could they have snowboarding there? There's no snow.
Snow.
Is there?
There's Alps in Italy, so
okay.
Yes, there's snow.
Boy, I just had no idea. Although I did know 48 Down, the psychoactive component of marijuana for short, THC. So that gave me the T, which is always helpful.
Yes.
And 45 Down, the poet who wrote, "To err is human, to forgive divine." I wanted it to be Shakespeare. but I only had 4 letters.
Yeah.
And I thought, if Ryan McCarty, the author of this crossword, suddenly decided to put a rebus in the very last down answer, Will would probably veto it right then and there. So it turned out to be Pope.
Pope, yes.
31 down.
Army unit. Company example.
Yes.
Army unit.
And I had arm, and I thought, oh, it's arm candy. But it turned out to be, as you say, Army unit.
Yes. Yeah, 41 across, that was a little bit of a stumper. Short. It turned out to be shy.
Right.
Once I got that, then I got 30 down right away. Slam dancing locales, mosh pits.
Yeah, I had something different. End zones. And I was very pleased with that answer.
End zones?
Yeah, they score a touchdown, right? And then they slam down the football. Oh. And so and they do a little dance. So I thought, ooh, they're doing slam dancing.
I don't think they were slam dancing, but oh well.
Well, that was my perception. Mm-hmm. Dancing was taking place. Slamming of the football on the ground was taking place. That's slam dancing.
Okay.
So, but that didn't work with any of the other letters.
No.
Let's see. Did it work? It worked with the S. It worked with the last S of end zones and mosh pits. Funny how plural works in English.
Yep.
But for 41 at one point before short being shy, I had O. So I went to O, and then I got shy, and then eventually I had to give up on, because when I thought it might be shy, I had to give up on end zones.
Yes.
Still my best answer of the night, and it was wrong.
Dear.
It can happen. 35 down. When he come back to a certain parent, and I wanted it to be but mom, but it was but dad.
That's right.
Did you guess the gender correctly?
I did, because I had the last D, 51 across, stay. And I just, on a whim, I said, well, it could be don't go. So I put don't go in. Ooh. That happened to be the right answer. So, yes, I had dad.
Nice. All right. Well, I think that's it for the crossword. Mm-hmm. And so we have a couple more things that we need to accomplish. The first is it's Saturday.
Yes, it is.
Which means it's time for Jam Katwa. The Gene and Mike Crossword of the Week Award, where we plunge into the crosswords of the previous week, scan them over, examine them very carefully, whip out our loops and our magnifying glasses, and then identify what we deem to be the very best.
Yep.
And this week we picked...
Yesterday,
a.k.a. Friday, yes. Mm-hmm. And we did that because
it was a great crossword, a wonderful solve. Took a while for me, but I got through it, and I just thought it had some terrific clues. And it was by Brandon Copy. Yes. Yes. I'm trying to remember what my favorite ones were. I liked... Well, I love 21 across. Question to one's best friend, maybe.
Right.
That's who's a good boy. Mm-hmm. So, best friend being your pet dog. So
I liked 16 across, the hurdles before some touchdowns, re-entries.
Yes, that was a stumper. But
see, that's why I was thinking of end zones today.
Oh, okay, yeah. Or 53 across, not learn one's lesson. Skip class.
Right. 44 across, bench press. Put me in, coach.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
A really good one. And, of course, it had the ants on a log, 3 down.
Yes.
Snack made with celery sticks, peanut butter, and raisins.
And 29 across, the big orbiter, which I thought was SpaceX, turned out to be Planet.
Right. So just a lot of really great clues.
Yes. Brilliantly done.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Nice. So, Brandon, congratulations on being our Jam Katwa winner. If you feel so inclined, drop us a line, crosswordpodcast@icloud.com, and we'll have your award-winning swag winging its way towards you in no time.
That's right.
And other than that, let's see here. We do have a spot of listener mail.
Oh.
So the first is from Randall. Thoughts on Wednesday and Thursday. Hi, guys. I wanted to mention that I think that the circles and triangles in Thursday's puzzle may have been representational of round crackers and triangular tortilla chips used for dipping. Just a thought. Ooh, that explains the geometry of it all.
Yes.
Okay. I was also thinking that since Wednesday's puzzle clearly focused on women and was designed by women, there may have been something deeper going on. I thought the descriptives referring to women were dated and mildly derogatory. Mrs., babe, and dame were then cut into half as a statement of feminine power. Whoa, that's deep. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that's what I got out of it. I know, that sounds pretty perceptive.
Well, I did kind of feel that same way about Mrs., Babe, and Dame, because those are not the most complimentary type synonyms for woman. But I didn't think about cutting them in half as being, something sort of
getting rid of those terms.
Liberating and getting rid of those stereotypical descriptions.
Profound. Well, he then goes on to say, I suppose we can get whatever message we want from our daily puzzle solving. Indeed, but I think you nailed it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep. And he ends up, thanks as always, Randall. Well, thank you, Randall.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, it's very perceptive. Yeah, I totally missed all of this.
No.
I barely saw that the circles were circles, let alone that they were, in fact, crackers. All right. And then one more piece of listener mail. This is from Trey, and it's ants on a log. Hi, Gene and Mike. The ants on a log discussion brought a smile to my face, especially when you mentioned learning the phrase from the crossword puzzle, but couldn't remember when. Could it have been 6 down in this puzzle from 2022? Note who constructed it. Cheers, Trey. And it was Trey who wrote that crossword.
Oh, my.
And it's got ants and a log in it. Actually, to be precise, 6 down was where to find edible ants on a log.
Oh, boy.
So that's I'm sure that's where we first had that conversation. So, all right. Well, thank you for that, Trey. And both you and Randall are frequent contributors, and we really appreciate your emails.
Yes, very much.
And for anyone else who wants to join in the conversation, please do so. crosswordpodcast@icloud.com, or you can click on the send fan mail link. That is it for today. Thanks, everyone, for listening.
Yep.
We will be back again with our cutting-edge analysis of Sunday's crossword tomorrow.
Bye-bye.